Here it is, y'all. This is old JP, aka the Hillbilly Luchador, coming to you live from down there, Moody, Alabama. It's been a good Friday, y'all. Had a very, very good day today. My dad rode up to see us this afternoon, rather. Got to hang out with him all evening this evening, and it doesn't happen very often. We just don't take the time. You know how life is, you're just busy and everything, but we had a good time tonight, and I actually got to record a little bit of a podcast. So I got a very special guest this week on the podcast, old Kenny Dean, guy I call Dad. He's a serious feller, much like myself, and I think my wife described it best. Tonight, she said, on our way to dinner, she said, "You two are the same person." That's fairly accurate. So without further ado, here's my guest, old Dad.
The Founders Days was the best one out there in the old part of Jemison.
Does that happen anymore? They don't even do nothing like that no
Nothing
more.
like that no more. The last thing they had was was it 100 year? Yeah, 100-year birthday.
Yeah.
They had that at the new park. And
Chris played that, didn't he? Did he play it?
I think he did.
They had David Ball there, I think. You know, the thinking problem man? He
Yeah.
come and played now.
Yeah. But you know, they had a big fireworks show, and we had our barbecue trailer set up,
Yeah.
and done pretty good on that. Because the weekend before that, we had the Halloween party at the Warner house,
Yeah.
and I had a lot of meat left over that I could freeze.
Needed to sell some meat.
Yeah, and I sold it at the Jemison 100th year anniversary.
Old Jemison only been around 100 years.
Well, about 105 now, probably.
Yeah, that's been a while. You've been out of business for a while.
Yeah,
That's a lot of work, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was fun if you didn't have to. If that's all you did, you know. But when you have to go and work 40 or 50 hours somewhere else, and then try to spend every holiday and a weekend selling barbecue.
Mm-mm.
You go to cooking it on a Thursday or Friday evening and stay up with it all night, and then try to sell it all day the next day or two.
You just can't do it.
You gotta do. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing else.
Y'all had some good barbecue.
I had some good barbecue now. I could have went somewhere if I'd have started a long time ago.
Yeah, and it's just hard though to stick with that kind of thing
Yeah.
for anybody.
You gotta be dedicated.
There's a lot of businesses opening and closing all the time.
I like to do a lot of other stuff besides that, and you gotta, just like if you had a store, you gotta be there at least 6 days a week, 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I can't do it.
You don't. I believe everybody thinks they would want to do it till they get in there and start doing it.
Yeah. But then, but if that's all you had to do, see, I spend that much time
Yeah.
traveling and working,
That's right.
but I can't do them both. And I
Right.
have to make a choice. And I make too good of money to try to make that much money doing something else.
Yeah. I'd like to, I think I could have made a living writing songs, but if you work, you're tired when you get home.
You can't write many songs.
You can't. Hell, I can't. I don't write.
You got some good songs.
I've had some good ones at times, and still have a good one every now and then. But
You still write?
yeah. I talked to Eric about this. The hardest thing about it is after you learn the technicalities of what you're doing, it's almost a double-edged sword, because you realize that some of the stuff that you was experimenting and learning maybe ain't correct, so you kind of box yourself in to where you don't feel like you know what I'm saying? You don't feel like you're doing things right. Whereas a lot of the stuff when I was young and younger and writing, several songs a week or whatever, I didn't realize where that was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got a better understanding of what I'm doing, and I nitpick things too damn much.
You don't just go for it.
No, I know that a D, a E, and a F sharp go together. So I don't hardly ever throw in something that maybe don't necessarily technically go with that.
Yeah.
And it ends up messing you up because you just ain't as creative. You don't
You
take as many chances.
You try to be too perfect.
Yeah. You hear things that really mess you up when you're trying
Well,
to
if you got an ear for it, you know it's not.
Yeah. But that's not always the case. It's a weird situation. Because some of that stuff that you accidentally do and what technically ain't right actually sounds pretty dang good.
Mm.
So, you know who had a lot of that stuff, I think, from the people that was the few folks that did go to the Jemison Music Park was OCI. He had a bunch of autographed pictures right there at the cash register.
He sure did.
I'm talking about George Jones.
You know, some of them folks may have come by CI.
I think they did. Hell, he was one of the only places open all the time back then.
365.
Did
You didn't get to experience CIs too much, did you?
I experienced the last little bit of CIs, and mainly when I was working night shift, I went in there a lot because it was the only thing open.
Yeah.
And we'd get off 1, 2,
Well,
3 in the morning. You didn't have no friends other than the folks you worked with because there wasn't nobody else up, So we'd go to CI's and eat a hamburger special.
Yeah.
I ate 2 every now and then.
Oh, CI had them, man. And I miss CI. It was, that was it.
It's completely gone.
It's gone.
Man, I wonder what they did with all them pictures and stuff from in there.
Probably load them in that dump truck. Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, CI. Dead and gone. He sat there a lot of nights, that old cigar, unlit cigar and all on. He was something else.
Mm.
I remember one time, old boy, he had a horse and he talked me into, I guess I was going to buy it from him, maybe. I don't think I was going to give much for it.
Yeah.
So I hooked my trailer up and I had that, I think it's that black Chevrolet with flatbed on it. I headed toward Tuscaloosa and I got over there, right out of Randolph. And I had that trailer hooked behind. something happened, so I had to pull off. And when I got out of the truck and looked, my back tire had run out. My axle had broke.
Oh, no.
So it was me and Rogers was together.
Yeah.
So we walked 2 miles. It was exactly 2 miles back to that store down there on 139 in Randolph.
Yeah.
And I called. I forgot. I think we called Roger's wife. She come and got us, and I think Roger went on to work, and I had to get my truck home. So I called CI. He come over there with the record.
And they ain't nothing in Randolph.
Nothing. No more. Ain't even a store.
Still ain't nothing there, is it?
That store was open then, but it ain't even open now. And CI come and got me. Pulled truck, a horse trailer and everything in it. One pull. I think he fixed the truck. You know, you used to go to the doctor, or you could go to CI. They did it all, you know.
Yeah, they wouldn't know
somewhere else. When you went to Joe Moore for a cold, he doctored it. If you broke your arm, he said it. You broke your leg, he said it.
Wouldn't no send you to another hospital.
You wouldn't been going to no hospital or this, that, and other.
Yeah.
He'd set your leg, put the cast on. 6, 8 weeks later, he'd cut it off.
Hey.
That arm right there. I broke it when I was, I guess I was 12 years old.
Was that weights?
Yeah.
Is that how you do that?
It was me and Pody and Johnny. My other first cousin on the mama's side. I forgot there might have been somebody else out there. But we was trying to outdo each other. When I went up with my load, I passed out. And when I woke up on the ground, my arm was turned.
Now you mean to tell me that you lifted so much that it broke your arm? Is that what happened?
No.
You just picked up and
when I lifted,
or your arm give out?
No. When I lifted, I passed out. And I fell. And them weights.
Oh, good God. Why in the hell did you pass out, you reckon?
I guess I was just trying to strain too much.
God, you was really putting it to it, wasn't you?
And when I went down, that bar and them weights, I'm sure hit my elbow on the ground, just popped my arm.
Man, I always thought you dropped it or something. I didn't know you passed out.
Passed
That
out
was the
and
cause
fell.
all of it.
And when I got up off the ground, I had 2 elbows.
Man.
I went to the glass door.
Man, a terrible thing. I guarantee you, that's something you don't
Went to the
forget.
glass door in a terrible shape. And Bond said, well, we got to take you to the doctor. So we headed to Joe Moore, and he sent us over to the hospital. And
If Joe sent you to the hospital, you're in real bad shape.
but he was coming. He didn't just send us to the hospital to.
Oh, he was coming
Yeah,
to
he
do the
was
work.
coming to do the work.
Yeah.
And they got me in there and grabbed that cloth, put that stuff on it.
Put you out. Chloroform.
Yeah, they chloroformed me out. And when I woke up, I had
That's how they put you to sleep, man?
You thought you was dying. You thought they was killing you.
Putting you out of your misery.
Yeah.
Which you was in misery. I guarantee you, your arm broke all to pieces.
Can you imagine riding from Jemison to the house,
No.
holding your arm with 2 elbows?
No.
It broke this little bone and just bent the big one. It didn't break the big one. The big one was just bent.
Man. That's awful, man.
Bond said, I guess he stayed in there the whole time. But Bond said Joe Moore lay that thing on the table and just beat on it, wham, 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 trying to get it straightened out. And
That chloroform's some good stuff, man.
That's
If
real
you
good
was
stuff.
out.
I didn't feel nothing.
Damn.
And I
Do
wa-
they still use that meth? In any kind of capacity, you reckon?
I don't know, but it'll show. It'll sure put you out.
Ah, dang.
You think you gone whenever you take that.
That's it.
They put that rag over your face like they smothering you.
I ain't never known my day.
And ain't no way to grab her arm, you know, with a broke arm. You
No,
know,
you're
trying to
screwed.
grab with one of them.
Which, did you fight?
Yeah,
Or do you
I don't remember. I'm sure I did, because I was smothered to death.
They was putting you out. Poncho, you can't go out, my friend. Every time I record one of these things, he's up to something. I can take all the jingles and squeakies and whatever she's hung in bells back up. He'll be around.
He may have to go SH or something.
No, he's wanting to go out there and run. Let me take these bells off. Can't deal with that. There in the show here. Lord have mercy. But yeah, you know, if you go now to a mechanic, they'll send you to somewhere else because it's a
somewhere else.
factory issue
Yeah.
or something. You got a warranty at the dealership or something.
But when you went to Joe Moore, he doctored you. It doesn't make no difference what wrong with you.
See, I can fix your vehicle.
If you had a big old knot coming up on you, he'd grab something and cut it open.
Man.
It's just like when me and Adam riding them old horses, called it Crazy Pony. And he was riding Susie, the mama to Becky.
Yeah, old Becky was with us a long time.
Yeah. And she was just a young, half-grown coach, you know.
Mhm.
I was riding her. We didn't have no saddles and that. We just rode bareback. I told him we was going down the road. I didn't have my shirt on. I said, now don't you run her, because, you know, I know Becky would run away with me.
Yeah.
He took off. He took off. Becky took off. I couldn't stop her. I fell off.
Hard.
I mean hard. In that hard dirt road, hadn't rained in Lord knows when. Gravel. Tore my back just completely off. I had sores on my back. Big. And hit my head, busted my head. That might have been on a Saturday, maybe a Friday. But anyhow, I woke up one Sunday morning with a big old riz up on my head. I mean, a big old riz. But they never would bond. Didn't think I needed to go to the doctor until that Sunday morning. And Irene told him, said, I'm taking this baby to the doctor. So all you had to do is get on the phone,
Yeah.
you know, and call them, and they'd meet you at the office. So I was on Sunday morning, she called her, and they met me down on Sunday morning. And he got,
What the
that
hell
was
did you
Charles. I believe that was Charles. That wasn't Joe, Charles.
eat? Was they kin to each other?
Brothers.
Brother. Doctors.
Yeah,
Small town. Doctors. Brothers.
brothers. And he mashed my head, and a handful of rocks squirted out of it.
Good grief.
And after he got that done, got it cleaned up, it got well. But it was huge.
You know, for that time period, that's pretty rare for two brothers to be doctors, I would
In the
think.
same clinic.
Exactly. I wonder how much school you had to go to back then.
I don't know, but Joe Moore was a doctor in the war. I believe it was World War II. He was a doctor. I believe that's right. He was a war doctor. And when he got out of that, he started his practice, I guess, right there in Clinton.
Yeah.
And Charles, same way. They were brothers and they teamed up. You used to could call Joe Moore anytime, And if you couldn't get to him, he'd come to you. He'd come to your house.
Yeah.
How many doctors now can you call to get out?
You can't even get them to do nothing at the doctor's office or the hospital or wherever half the time. You know.
But it's a whole different world than what it used to be. And I remember that part of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, you're old enough to remember. Not a whole lot of it, but you was there.
I was old enough then. I mean, young enough
Mhm.
that the blacks went to the back
You was around.
and the
during that
whites went to the front.
time. That's crazy.
You know, if you was black, you went to the back. I mean, he doctor,
Yeah.
but they didn't mix.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
Wow. What war was Uncle Arthur in? Two?
World War II.
Was he ever deployed anywhere?
I don't know. He never would talk about it much. Well, I don't guess he would talk about it. I think I asked him a time or two. He wouldn't talk about it.
He never really talked about it.
I don't know whether it's a bad experience or he just
Didn't have an experience.
didn't have an experience. I don't know.
I imagine it was pretty rough either way, whether he went anywhere or not.
It had to be.
I mean, a man like him, he just liked to sit around the house. He didn't want to be running, jumping over lawns and all. Imagine that, man. Uncle Arthur. I'm talking about, he was, he was your great uncle, right?
That's right.
He was my great uncle.
That's right.
Old fella. The only time I knew him,
He was your great, wasn't he?
great. Yeah, great uncle.
Uncle Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Great Uncle George.
Uncle George.
And then great Uncle
Great,
Arthur.
great Uncle Arthur. That's right.
But he really took it easy during my lifetime of knowing. I couldn't never see even a young Arthur running and jumping and,
Dodging bullets and
Yeah.
stuff.
climbing them walls with ropes and all that like they make you do in the army,
I bet he had it rough if he'd had to.
He's a good old fella.
I don't know much about Arthur. I was around Arthur a long time, but I really didn't know much about him.
He didn't talk much about anything that mattered. Huh? He liked to watch wrestling. That's what got me
Yeah.
to watching it.
He
Really,
liked that wrestling, didn't
I really saw somebody enjoy it fully when you watched it with Uncle Arthur.
Did he ever go to Birmingham when they was wrestling in Birmingham?
Not that I know of. I never knew him to leave that, a 5 square mile area.
Now whenever before you come along, he helped build or work on 459.
Didn't
I think he worked with a surveyor, and he would hold a stick.
he? Yeah. Stand out there and hold the stick.
Yeah, for them to shoot grades and stuff.
Hey, that's a good job.
That's a real good job for Arthur.
Didn't he work for the railroad or something one time?
I know.
No. Well, what the hell did he do?
Well, he was young,
Yeah.
and they farmed.
Yeah.
They called him into the Army. Went to the Army for 4 years. And when he got back, he done a little farming. And then he went to work on the road. And then he retired.
And that was it.
That was it. That was it. As far as I know now.
Now, he worked on the road for a long time.
Mhm.
Then. Maybe it was the road, not the railroad.
I think it was the road, not the railroad. And then
That's some hard work, though. If you have to get into any of the grunt work of working on making a road.
I tell you what, there's a lot of work to making a road.
A lot of
They
work
got-
to upkeeping a road.
Yeah.
If it's done right.
They got a lot of machines now too to do it with. And there was something else I was gonna say about Arthur, and I forgot what it was.
Didn't you see him get beat with a snake or something one time out there?
He told about it.
You didn't see it?
You know how he used to have a reclining chair out there under the shade?
Yeah.
He said a snake jumped out of that tree on him one day, wanted to whooping him in the head. Court's whip.
God.
I bet he moved then, didn't he?
I guarantee that'd make anybody move. Shoot. Oh, he didn't care. He just liked to sit out there and smoke.
When he, you know, down there at the old house, he'd have him straight chair out there in the front yard, and he'd turn that straight chair, you know, with the back down like this,
Yeah.
and he'd lay down there. You see him out there all the time, laying out in the front yard asleep.
He'd stay up all night most of the time.
Did you ever spend the night off?
Well, I was in and out of Arthur's place a lot. He didn't even know it sometimes. A lot of times he'd stay up all night watching TV.
He'd sleep all day, wouldn't he?
Sleep in the middle of the living room floor. Not on the couch or in the bed. He's got on his overalls now and a white t-shirt. And I really and truly think a lot of times now he would sit there and watch TV till he just fell over. I'm talking about fell over in the floor, and you could go in there and walk around and do whatever you wanted to do, and he would not wake up. It was the damnedest thing, and I didn't think nothing about it. Hell, I was 9 or 10 years old, just walking around in there. I'd go in there and see if his biscuits was still kindly warm, or if they'd been there for a day or two. I wouldn't eat them, but if they was kindly warm, you could go in there and eat your biscuit, and sit down, and he didn't care. He didn't know. He was out.
He didn't know what was going on, did he?
No, he never locked his doors.
Night or day.
It didn't matter. Anybody could have got on Arthur if they wanted to, you know.
Didn't nobody
Didn't
want him,
nobody
didn't nobody know him.
It was crazy, man.
Too much.
He had to just sit there and watch TV though till he fell out. I didn't really hit me at the time, but a man just laying in the middle of the floor, and he wasn't on drugs or drinking or nothing else. He just
Arthur, wasn't he?
He was on. Watch that TV, it'd be so loud you couldn't stand it. You could hear it outside.
You could hear it all the way up to the house sometimes.
Hell, I don't guess he drank or nothing. I don't know.
I never did see him drunk.
No. Anytime I fell out like that in the floor, it's because of something else. It wasn't because
I was sleeping.
no, I lay on the couch or something, but he wouldn't. He'd just lay there on the floor. He'd fall asleep out there in the chair to swing a lot too, outside. He was just living, he didn't care. That was a nice old pickup truck he had, man. That old white Ford.
Where's it at now?
Well, you know, Leroy had it, didn't he? He passed away, didn't he?
Yeah. Did they still got it?
You know, I don't know. It sat out there for years with the rest of their stuff. Old trailer.
Well, I ain't even paid no attention if it's still out there.
Ain't no telling.
I doubt if it is.
Nah. But them was some good times.
Oh, yeah. They all pass away, though.
Yeah.
They sure do.
What else do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm trying to think. I had something on my mind and I done let it slip.
Now you said something about, I was telling you about that book I was reading,
Yeah.
Oregon Trail, and you said you know somebody that rode the Oregon Trail.
Gerald White.
Nearly got run over several times.
600 and it's close to 650 miles in 35 days.
35 days.
35 days.
Wow.
600 and so many miles. Almost 650 miles in 35 days.
Well, he's kicking this guy's ass that I'm reading about because their trip took them 3 or 4 months to make the whole thing.
Well, he didn't go the whole thing.
Well, 600 something miles is a long damn way in 30 days on a
30
horse and wagon.
35 or 38 days, he went 650 miles. We'll say 650 miles. He liked to got run over twice. And he was riding a wagon,
Yeah.
and his wife was moving up every day. He was only on the wagon by himself,
Oh, wow.
and she was with him, but she was moving up.
Mm-hmm.
When he'd get wherever they needed to be, she'd be there,
Yeah.
and they would sleep. He'd get up the next morning and go again, and she'd meet him up the road.
How many miles is that in a day?
Well, 650 divided by 30, it was divided by 38. You got anything to do it with? I can do it on paper if I have to.
Let's see what we got here. I got something somewhere. Where's that thing at? You said 630 miles.
50, let's do 50.
650 miles
In 38 days.
divided by 38 days. 17 miles a day.
Is that all?
See it?
Well,
Hell, I thought it was more than
I
that.
figured
But that's still a lot.
That's a lot, day in, day out. I don't know if he took any days off or he rode straight every day.
Well, you know,
And he said it was real windy.
there's a lot of that trail now that is major highways.
Yeah, that's where he like got run over a time or two.
And that's a problem,
Yeah.
you know, for people that's trying to recreate that
He
experience.
like to got run over.
There ain't no recreating that experience.
No,
now.
it's over.
It's gone. You know, you do that from time to time, ride your wagon and stuff, but you have to be selective about where you ride.
Right, you can't just take off down through
go through downtown Birmingham. Or,
You ain't got a crew going ahead of you cutting out trees and stuff, trying to get you somewhere.
no, and these folks.
They didn't have no roads. They had to make the roads as they went, didn't they?
No. Well, the
I'm talking about the
earliest people.
earliest people.
Yeah, they did. The earliest.
Yeah.
But once it caught on that you could actually make it to Oregon, so many people traveled the trail.
They had beat out past, didn't they?
They had beat out pass, and they said that the one thing, after a few years of it going on, that was just astonishing to the travelers that was going up the trail, you know, was the fact that you didn't have to pack much because so many people had abandoned their wagons on the trail and left all their supplies just trying to survive, to either get back to where they come from or to continue on foot because it got so bad, the terrain and stuff.
I heard on shows and stuff. I don't read books, but
Yeah.
I heard on shows where they would get everything ready to go, and it'd be so muddy and messy they might go a half a mile.
Yeah, it was
In a
a
whole
bad,
day's
bad
time.
deal.
Can you imagine getting all that stuff together and just getting a half a mile in a day?
And another thing too, like we talked about earlier, a lot of the wagons weren't built all that good, or they were built too heavy, and you couldn't float across them rivers and creeks and stuff. And
Hills.
you get out there and sink your damn wagon, can't get it out of the water, and it's got everything you own on there.
And you sink it in a mud hole and have to dig it out.
It was a hard life.
Them poor animals had it rough.
They really did. It was a bad, bad deal. I mean, you had to have a pretty messed up living situation to decide, you know what, I'm gonna put everything I own on this wagon and we got to make it to Oregon to get the hell out from wherever we're at.
Why did they go to Oregon?
You know, it was a undiscovered country. Wasn't nobody. I would suppose at that time, land prospecting was a big deal. So you went to a part of the country that ain't nobody hardly been to, and you claim the land your own. You put up the fences. I guess hell, you could claim as much land as you wanted to. It wasn't like today where you have to go buy it acre by acre. You know,
You could just claim your big old spot.
if you was especially one of the earliest people to travel that trail and make it all the way out there, and you had the damn energy after you got out there to put up a big old fence, you could have you a hell of a place, and it would be yours because there wasn't nobody to tell
Take
you
it away from
exactly.
you, would it?
Cause
Unless it was the Indians or something.
yeah, and I don't know what the Indian situation is in Oregon.
It ain't so bad. In Oregon, is what you
Getting
had to
there.
go through to get there.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen these cowboy pictures where they'll circle their wagons at night,
Mm-hmm.
so they'd have like a fort to fend Indians and wolves and heathens off of them.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad news out there.
I don't know. I tell you another terrible time. One of the most terriblest times that's ever been in the United States was the Civil War.
Yeah, it was a lot
I
of
mean, that was
just senseless.
senseless, just killing, just battles losing 20 and 25,000 men a day.
Yeah,
Can you imagine that?
no. I you know, used to watch movies and shows about it and read a little bit about it and stuff, and it's unimaginable. Because especially we lived in an area that was just a war zone,
Mm-hmm.
and there's very few reminiscences of any of it. I mean,
You go to these museums, see a little of it, but, you know.
you go to down at Fort Morgan, down at the Gulf, and go out there and look at that fort and how it was built to defend the Gulf Coast and stuff there, keep supplies from coming in and all that. That's just unimaginable that was happening, and especially with the type of communications that they had. Like hell, it'd take 2 weeks for you could send anybody anything, because you had to send somebody with whatever message you had.
And hope they got there.
Yeah, hell, they had to go through hellfire and brimstone to get there.
You ain't joking.
People shooting and killing one another.
That was a terrible time.
Oh,
I watch a movie, them shows about it, and just killing, you just line up and go to shoot.
that don't even make no sense. Does it?
That don't make a bit of sense. Get behind something.
Well, what in the world was it? I don't know. It's a powerful thing when you've got something that you love or hate that much to fight and kill over it.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing either way, but I don't see no need for that kind of stuff.
And it's just like these days, them crazy fanatics cutting folks' heads off.
Mm-hmm.
That's unimaginable to me, that state of mind that a person's in to do stuff like that.
They ain't never known nothing but hate. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a disturbing time, my friend.
Well, I've had a wonderful day.
I have too.
I mean, a wonderful day.
I appreciate you coming.
But I've got to go.
I want to thank y'all very much for listening. Very special thanks goes out to my dear old dad for hanging out with me today. He's a hell of a guy. I learned a lot from him over the years, and we get fixated with famous people or whatever throughout our lives, but he's a hero to me, y'all. I've always looked up to him, tried to do the best I can by him, and really enjoyed hanging out with him tonight. And hopefully we can do it again soon. Anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight and listening to the podcast, the old Hillbilly Luchador Show. We've been at it for a long time down here, and we're going to keep on going as long as we can stay on there. Y'all can subscribe over on iTunes, Hillbilly Luchador Show. Look my music up at Josh Porter 08. You want to hear some of this guitar picking type stuff I got going on down here. This song here is actually posted up on there. You can go listen to it anytime. It's a Rodney Crowell song. It is a Waylon Jennings recorded song. An Alan Jackson recorded song. Song for the Life. Kind of fits the mood for today's show. Just talking about life and some of the stuff that we've been through. So anyway, y'all, I appreciate you listening. Take care. Drink your cold beer. Stay near. We'll catch you next time right down here. I don't drink as much as I used to. Lately, it just ain't my style, and the hard times don't hurt like they ought to. They pass quicker, like when I was a child. And somehow I learned how to listen for a sound like the breeze dying down, and the magic the morning is bringing. There's a song for the friend I have found. She keeps my feet on the ground, and the midsummer days sit so heavy. Don't they flow like a breeze in your mind, when nothing appears in a hurry to make up for someone's lost time? And somehow I've learned how to listen for a sound like the breeze dying down, and the magic the morning is bringing. There's a song for the friend I have found. She keeps my feet on the ground. She keeps my feet on